6 words. Turn on, tune in, drop out.
Dr. Timothy Leary has been described as being either a prophet or a fiend.
Well, the first experience I had was with 7 little mushrooms in Mexico. For the 5 hours after I ate these mushrooms, I learned more about psychology than I had in the preceding 16 years as a psychologist. And since that time, I've done almost nothing but attempt to study, to learn more about how these experiences are produced and how they can be used for man's benefit. It's an extremely complicated and demanding discipline because you have not just one reality, but it's like using a microscope and a telescope. You have many realities that you have to label, identify, recognize, and somehow be able to communicate to others so that they can check out your experiences.
In 1963, he was fired from the Harvard faculty for involving undergraduates in his experiments with drugs.
It's estimated by the Federal Food and Drug Administration that perhaps 15 or 20% of our young people today are exploring their consciousness, trying to find out more about their mind using these chemicals.
Actually, can have a religious experience, and it can be even more important than reading the Bible 6 times or becoming a pope or something like that, you know.
But God calls himself Father, and therefore I take him at his word.
Well,
it's all right.
To us, God says she's everything and everybody, so there's no...
I mean, to us. What do you mean, to us?
To us, to us who believe that God is within everyone, and who believes that God is in everything, and you find her, him, it, in every form of life, from the atom to the proton to the galaxy. We're all bursting and busting with that great divinity if we can only get it out.
Are the missionaries who make and distribute LSD because they are convinced that it's a wonderful way, as that poisonous, evil man, Dr. Timothy Leary, has said. It is a way to turn on, tune in, and drop out.
In March of this year, he was arrested for smuggling marijuana in from Mexico, is presently appealing that 30-year jail sentence.
This is Folsom Prison. It holds at the present time 1,800 men. One of them is Timothy Leary. He was brought here after 4 months in solitary confinement at California Men's Colony in San Luis Obispo.
Yes, I'm in prison, and that may seem odd, a philosopher in prison, but the best philosophers often end up in prison. If you're really a good philosopher, you're coming out with new ideas about the 7 great destiny questions that are going to rattle the walls of the social institution. Most of the men that I model myself after have been lucky if they got away with just being in prison. You ever use these drugs purely for pleasure? A religious revelation or a scientific discovery is a pleasurable event. The highest ecstasies in my life have come when I've discovered something new or learned something new about myself or about the world. This is intensely pleasurable. Marijuana and LSD are consciousness magnifying drugs. If I want to get in closer contact with reality, I would smoke marijuana or take LSD.
It is true that LSD provides an ecstatic experience. It gives you an incredibly pleasant experience. But this pleasure is not the pleasure that you get from a bottle of beer or that you get from watching even a good television show. The pleasure you get from LSD is being tuned in. You're turned on to your own nervous system. You're turned on to your own body. You're turned on to the incredible wisdom which lies inside every cell in your body.